Hello, I'm the Irish guy, and right, so, the Prem catch-up. Let's see what happened in the Premier League this weekend, and oh boy, it was nuttier than a squirrel with the mumps. Right, let's go. Brentford 5, Wolves 3. Lads, do you know what the incredibly spooky thing is? I'm gonna say something that's gonna give you shivers down your spine. I'm gonna say something that is about as scary as if I were to tell you that you'd soon be giving Sepp Blatter a sponge bath. I'm gonna say something that is truly gonna freak you out. No, it's not that David Gea saved 2 penalties in a match. Oh no, it's something even weirder. Lads, this is my prediction for the Arsenal match this weekend.
I reckon the Gunners win this match 8-0. Because, yeah, Southampton are a mess. I think this is going to be an incredibly unique match in that there's going to be 8 different goal scorers. Bukayo Saka, Leandro Trossard, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Martinelli, Raheem Sterling, Declan Rice, Gabriel Magalhaes, and yes, Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah. The record for the most amount of different goal scorers in a single Premier League match is 8. Before this weekend, that had only occurred 8 times in Premier League history before, with the most recent being Newcastle's ridiculous win at Bramall Lane a year ago. There's only been 8 other weekends this has happened before. 8 weekends in 30 plus years. Are you telling me that not only did I guess the right month when this would happen again, but I predicted the exact day, time, and city of the next time there'd be 8 different goal scorers in a Prem match? No, it didn't happen in the Arsenal game, no, but it did happen literally 12 miles down the road in Brentford's ground. This is like if a psychic tries to do palm readings whilst they're drunk. Yeah, they've got the vague details right, but they've just muddled them up in their brain. So yeah, they tell the granddad he's gonna be voted prom queen, whilst telling his teenage granddaughter that her prostate's now bigger than a pumpkin. The vague details are there, they were just applied to the wrong parties. It's like the footballing overlords were whispering to me in my sleep that there will be 8 different goal scorers in London on Saturday. I just picked the wrong match. But look, something extremely freakish is going on at Brentford, because they scored in the first minute of their previous 3 Premier League matches, after 22 seconds against Man City, after 23 seconds against Tottenham, after 38 seconds against West Ham, and now Wolves' clean sheet lasted just 75 seconds. Lads, before this match, I literally gave Gary O'Neill a blueprint of what to do. Practice the coin toss, instruct your captain to do it 17 times a day, do not let Brentford win the kickoff, make your captain practice it until his fingers bleed, and to be fair, you won the coin toss. You kicked off the match. You had possession first. So how on earth are you still letting your old centre-back Nathan Collins pop up in the box to score after less than 2 minutes of the match? Honestly, they say the Premier League is the toughest league in the world. And yet the Bees have now scored inside the first 100 seconds 4 games in a row. If they repeat that at Old Trafford after the international break, we're gonna have to get the FBI involved. I'm gonna start suspecting that Thomas Frank is actually kissing a witch doctor before every match. This is so weird. But Gary O'Neill has come out and said that this afternoon was his worst as Wolves manager. Yeah, guys, it's only getting worse because you have the managerial acumen of toilet water. Honestly, everyone thought I was just being mean when I was calling out Graham Potter at Brighton, saying that he was just some overrated hipster garden gnome. Yeah, my criticisms have since aged like George Clooney, whereas the loving from the Potter fanboys have aged like a P. Diddy album. Lads, wake up. Wolves have now taken 6 points from their last available 51. How is he still in a job? They are bottom of the league on 1 pathetic point. Every club this manager have sacked since getting promotion, they are all doing much better than O'Neill right now. Nuno Santo, Bruno Lage, and Julian Lopetegui of Nottingham Forest, Benfica, and West Ham are all on another level to O'Neill. I mean, recently those coaches have managed to beat the likes of Arne Slot, Diego Simeone, and Kieran McKenna. Price, well, this is a Wolves board who tried to make Michael Beale their boss 2 years ago. Yeah, there's a guy who lasted just 12 games at Sunderland. Wolves persisting with O'Neill is like someone choosing to willingly eat Rice Krispie buns they know have been dipped in toilet water. Chelsea won, Nottingham Forest won. Okay, look, I gave myself a fat pat on the back for successfully predicting 8 different goal scorers in a match this weekend. But I mean, during the Premier League prediction series, I challenged Vise on Friday. So this is what he said would happen at Stamford Bridge.
I'm gonna go for Chelsea 1, Forest 1, mainly because when people think Chelsea are gonna be really good again, something always goes wrong. I think Chelsea's goal scorer would be Nicholas Jackson, and I think for Forest it would be, Chris Wood.
So close. It was just Nani Madueke who hit back, not Nicholas Jackson. Well, lads, put some respect on Forest on the road. They have not lost a match away from home since trip to Everton in April. I mean, after winning at Stamford Bridge a year ago, to now nick a point at an incredibly hyped Chelsea right now. I mean, lads, they were facing an unstoppable Cole Palmer, someone who last week Carragher called the best player in the league, someone who just scored 4 against Brighton. And guess what? That sweaty shirt this greasy fur ball wore on his back that afternoon was just auctioned off for £34,000. I'm sorry, lads, isn't that a little creepy? Apparently Apparently some random bloke from Singapore bought it for that amount. I have to imagine if you're that strange and lonely to spend the annual salary of a nurse on a football shirt, and then he probably also draws faces on potatoes and is pretending they're his mates. But look, quality point for Forest on the road. Even though James Ward-Prowse blatantly cheated, the guy gives the ball away in a dangerous area. Nicholas Jackson is about to sprint clear, and this free kick master just grabs the ball with his hands, taking the red card. Yes, but preventing the counter-attack. I don't know. I know it's win at all costs, but it's just blatant cheating. It's like when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was somehow the last man chasing back for Manchester United against Newcastle and chopped Rob Lee down for a red card. But he stopped Newcastle scoring the winning goal. But Sir Alex Ferguson tore into the Norwegian afterwards. Yeah, it was something that saved them from losing, but Fergie said there is a way to win and it's not like that. If you make a mistake, accept the mistake. Own the mistake. Get punished for the mistake. Don't suddenly introduce rugby rules to get yourself off the hook. It's the same reason why everybody was so mad at Luis Suarez for his blatant handball against Ghana at the World Cup. This isn't a sneaky tactical foul. It is blatant cheating. You are playing the wrong sport. I don't know. Maybe I'm just traumatized by players handling the ball after Thierry Henry, but I don't know. If I'm a Forest fan, then trying to digest that from one of my own players, it would taste like I've just licked a frog. Brighton 3, Tottenham 2. And Tottenham have just set a Premier League record, becoming the first team to have a 2-goal lead and lose 10 times in Premier League history. Lads, everything began the season by throwing away 2-goal leads, as if they were bags of their land's phlegm. But Spurs to go 2-0 up against Brighton, to be cruising after goals from Brendan Johnson and James Maddison, for them to completely throw their good work in the bin by conceding 3 in the second half. Cries about both Jan Kubamente and Jorginho Rutter took advantage of some absolutely horror second half defending from Spurs left back. I haven't seen a doggy have such a mare since an XL bully ate my son. Nah, just kidding. I don't even have a Capri Sun, relax. Look, the Seagulls were stunning in the second half, and this will be humbling for Ange Postecoglou, who, don't forget, whilst he was Celtic boss, actually turned the Brighton job down. Yeah, their 3 candidates on their shortlist were Postecoglou, De Zerbi, and Cooper. Going from Graham Potter to Steve Cooper is probably like some woman going from dating Percy Weasley to then spooning with an orc. But look, Postecoglou deemed the Brighton job not big enough to leave Scotland for. Well, they just gave him his worst afternoon as Tottenham boss. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Okay, I am sorry, Arnie Schlott. When this man became Reds boss in the summer, after clearly being their third choice, I thought, how underwhelming. But lads, to win 9 of your first 10 games as Liverpool boss, wow. Although it probably says more about Jurgen Klopp and what sort of healthy state he left this club in when he left, that it has been such a smooth transition for the next manager. I mean, when the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson left Manchester United, he left behind a dressing room that slightly resembled the lobby of a nursing home. But this Liverpool team, it looks hungrier than ever, yes. And yes, Diogo Jota snaffled up an early goal, and the Reds calmly ground out the clean sheet. Although Crystal Palace fans must be fuming. I knew when they had their rockstar end of last season, I knew they couldn't possibly keep that up, and especially not having lost their best player to Bayern Munich. And lads, don't forget, it wasn't just Michael Elise that was offered an escape route to Bayern Munich during that ridiculous end-of-season run. By the way, if this was the Olympics, then the DEA would probably be bursting down Palace's canteen door. Are we pretty sure that last spring, the canteen lunch lady didn't ask Lance Armstrong to whittle on the lasagna? But Oliver Glasner was offered the Bayern Munich job. And apparently, according to Bayern honorary president Uli Hoeneß, he did want to give up in Palace after just a handful of games and snatch the Bayern job, but it was Palace who said no. Apparently they were demanding 100 million euros from Bayern in return. But let me get it straight. Steve Parish was thinking that the manager was worth twice as much as the world-class Olise. Glasner hadn't even been their first choice. It was Lopetegui, who West Ham fans will tell you is about as special as your nana's egg quiche. Well, as when Liverpool fans saw their 23-year-old Czech goalie Vítězslav Jaroš step in for the injured Alisson in 75 minutes, they must have been nervous, considering this is somebody who 3 years ago was keeping goal for St. Pat's in Dublin. Someone who joined Liverpool so long ago that they still had Coutinho, Ings, and Solanke at the club, and yet still nobody knows this guy's name. Well, he must be nervous when he came on, but he did okay. Everton 0, Newcastle 0. Ooh, what player will have felt the most revolting when the full-time whistle blew this weekend? Oh, I think we all know. Anthony Gordon will not have slept on Saturday night. I'm convinced of it. This ginger nugget would have probably spent that night headbutting the wall and kicking cookies around his kitchen in disgust, because I am sorry. The man has just been presented with the chance to score a potential winning penalty at this stadium where he is the biggest enemy in the world. Lance Gordon was never really all that popular, was he? Was never a player. With a chunk of gormless plonkers chasing his car down the street. To be fair, those guys didn't look all that smart. If you're trying to scream abuse at your own player whilst he's driving his car in traffic, then you're probably also the type of simple person who is confused why their yogurts won't talk back. They're probably also the type of thick people who think adding toenails to their coffee gives it a morning kick. But come on, with the scores at 0-0, and with Newcastle being awarded a penalty after James Tarkowski inexplicably drags down Sandro Tonali. But so, it was Gordon versus Pickford. Or to give him his proper name, Pigford. Yeah, his granddad had the family name changed so he wouldn't get bullied at school. That's a true story. Well, as both men are enemies to the opposition fans, you try to weigh up whether Everton fans hate Gordon more than Newcastle fans hate Pickford. Oh, it is close. Because let's be real, the Geordies spent the bulk of the last 10 years wanting this man to choke on uncooked sausage. Ever since the ex-Sunderland goalie mocked them for going down in 2016. But Gordon, it's not just the fans. Everyone at Everton hates him now. Price of when he left in 2023 after helping them survive relegation the season before with crucial match-winning goals against Manchester United and Chelsea. The official club statement was still colder than a snowman's armpit.
Anthony Gordon joined Newcastle United for undisclosed fee. The 21-year-old forward leaves Everton after having submitted a formal transfer request. Gordon joined the club's academy at age 11 and made his senior debut as a 16-year-old in a Europa League tie in December 2017. He went on to make 78 first-team appearances, scoring 11 goals.
Is that it? Nowhere in that statement did they wish him well for the future, or even thank him. Am I missing something? Did Gordon do something horrendous to Everton? Like walk into the Toffees chairman's office and demand that for every day they've refused to sell him, that he would drown a puppy in a swamp? Did Gordon start driving around Merseyside, chucking eggs at the homes of season ticket holders? No, even when he missed a penalty. It wasn't quite Martin Keown jumping into Vitasori's face 20 years ago, but his old teammate Abdoulaye Doucouré celebrated with Pickford, sure, but he narrowly brushed by Gordon. It's like when Patrice Evra celebrated in the face of Luis Suarez. He knew what he was doing. Gordon is a potentially elite winger. Of course he was going to quit a relegation battling team. It happens all the time. But his conduct was actually way better than Wayne Rooney's in 2004, who actually scribbled his transfer request on a canteen napkin. And yet, when he returned in 2017, you all looked like you wanted to kiss his chubby cheeks and feed him prawns in the bath. But look, for Newcastle fans, to see Pickford come out on top in this match, they will feel sick whenever they see this bloke sticking his tongue out after keeping yet another clean sheet against them. Oh, they would probably prefer to let a Nigerian snake chew off their groin. Man City 3, Fulham 2. Adama Traore is the most frustrating footballer in the Premier League. I'm sorry, but he is a man who has everything required to be elite. Price up, when he first joined Aston Villa, Tim Sherwood was comparing him to both Messi and Ronaldo. 2 years ago, he was playing for actual Barcelona, a club he spent 11 years at as a kid. Not only is this man built like the Hulk, but he is ridiculously quick. And at the Etihad on Sunday, he made Kyle Walker look like a plump grandma waddling for the bus. To be fair, it does seem a bit strange that people are freaking out about someone outpacing a right back who literally turns 35 this season? Yeah, not even Cafu looked the same at 35. I mean, when Gary Neville was 35, he'd have probably lost an egg and spoon race against my nan. I'm pretty sure Michael Richards is 35 now. But okay, Walker is a bit like an unaging superhero of a right back. So for Traore to ruin his afternoon, it's impressive. Look, Marco Silva came face to face with Nuno Santo last week, and he essentially robbed that man's Etihad game plan from 5 years ago because Traore has terrorized Man City before. Back in October 2019, the game plan for Wolves was to keep it tight and let Traore catch City on the break with his pace. And he did, scoring twice in the final 10 minutes to give Wolves a shock 2-0 win. Silva just plagiarized Santo's homework from 5 years ago, and it nearly worked because Traore could have had a hat-trick. The guy has everything: speed, skill, strength. But when one-on-one with a goalkeeper, he looks about as intimidating as Ron Weasley brushing his teeth. But look, Fulham played well here. And Raul Jimenez's juicy backheel assist for Andres Pereira's opening goal. Oh, what a filthy, confident chunk of skill. I haven't seen anything like that from a Fulham player since Berbatov was at the club. Aston Villa 0, Man United 0. You know what? Well done, Manchester United. I know, it shows how far their standards have fallen. But I'm actually congratulating them for not losing at a ground. They've only lost once since the 90s, but still. I think everyone thought that Villa were going to eat this out-of-sorts team with a spoon. But to be fair, I think what this game showed is that these Villa players were sort of wrecked and burnt out from their exhausting exploits against Bayern Munich midweek. Can I ask, how is it like 2025? And Johnny Evans is winning Man of the Match awards in a Manchester United shirt? This man was on the brink of retirement after Leicester City's relegation. Everyone thought his Man United career had ended in shame long ago, being kicked out of the club off the back of a 5-game ban for spitting at Papi Cissa in the face. The rest centre-back returns 37 years old in a matter of months. For someone who's made his Manchester United debut in 2006, then this is highly impressive. I'm confused. What, has Evans just not eaten a chip since 2012? His diet must be incredibly insufferably boring. I'm guessing he has the diet of a cow, just nothing but grass and flowers in his fridge. Imagine being told that 6 years after getting relegated with West Brom, where he apparently stole a taxi in Spain, that he'd be grinding out Man of the Match awards for Manchester United. Weird. West Ham 4, Ipswich 1. This was such a much-needed West Ham win, as I predicted this to be a completely frustrating afternoon. A 0-0 slog. Oh no, instead Michael Antonio decides to score with his first touch out of just 48 seconds of the match. To be fair though, Liam Delap then smashes in a pile driver, and honestly, Rory's son is definitely eating his morning Weetabix, because Christ above, he's began the season like a mini Harry Kane, and here was me thinking that he was just going to be some average milk carton, just like his dad, but no. While his dad was only ever known for chucking throw-ins into the box, I think Liam is a bit like Haaland, in that they're actually nothing like they're plotting technically pig sick bads. But look, the Hammers turned it on and Mohamed Kudus, Jared Bowen and Luka Paqueta scored. But this shouldn't be a shock. Each player is worth at least £80 million each. I wonder if McKenna is silently regretting not taking that Chelsea job in the summer. Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Yeah, I said that Arsenal would smack Southampton 8-0, but to be fair, this is nothing of the sort. The Saints did well. They went 1-0 up through Cameron Archer against all odds, but no, then the Gunners scored 3 with these. Kai Havertz, Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka after some unforgivably shocking loose passes from the likes of Flynn Downs and Yukinari Sugawara. Ouch. Leicester 1, Bournemouth 0. I'm just relieved Jimmy Vardy didn't score. Anyway, that's the end of it. What do you think? Let me know. What do you think? What did you think of this game week? It was crazy, right? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.